For example, Smith, 2020. At the end of your paper, you need to provide a reference list that contains the full details of all the sources you cited, arranged alphabetically by the author's surname. APA style also has specific rules for formatting your paper, such as using a running head and title a page and headings. Next one is MLA style. This style stands for the Modern Language Association, and it's commonly used in the humanities, especially in language and literature. MLA style uses the author page system of an in-text citations, which means you need to include the author's surname and the page number where you found the information in parentheses after the relevant information. For example, Smith, 12. At the end of your paper, you need to provide a works cited list that contains the full details of all the sources you cited, arranged alphabetically by the author's surname. MLA style also has specific rules for formatting your paper, such as using a header, a title. Next style is Harvard style. Harvard style is a generic term for a citation and formatting style that's widely used in many disciplines and in institutions. Harvard style is similar to APA style in that it uses the author's date system of in-text citations, but it differs in some details, such as using a comma instead of a period between the author and the year. For example, Smith, 2020. At the end of your paper, you need to provide a reference list that contains the full details of all the sources you cited, arranged alphabetically by the author's surname. Harvard style also has specific rules for formatting your paper, such as using a title page, an abstract, and headings. Next one is Chicago style. This style is also known as Turabian style, and it's widely used in history and some social sciences. Chicago style offers two options for in-text citations: the notes bibliography system and the author's date system. The notes bibliography system uses footnotes and endnotes to provide the source information, and bibliography at the end of the paper to provide the full details of all the sources. The author date system uses parentheses to provide the source of information and reference list at the end of the paper to provide the full details of all the sources. Chicago style also has specific rules for formatting your paper, such as using a title page, a table of contents, and headings. Next question is the structure of academic texts. Structure is very important, is an important feature of academic writing. A well-structured text enables the reader to follow the argument and navigate the text. In academic writing, a clear structure and a logical flow are imperative to a cohesive text. Furthermore, in many university assignments, the correct use of structure is part of the final assessment. Most academic texts follow established structures. This page describes some common structures in academic writing: the three-part essay structure and the IMRID structure. Structure should be considered on all levels of text, so you will also find information on structuring paragraphs. Common structures. The structure of your writing depends on the type of assignment, but two common structures used in academic writing are the three-part essay structure, as I have mentioned before, and the IMRAD structure. Even shorter essays that are not divided into title sections follow such a structure. longer texts may be further divided into subsections. Different disciplines or departments may prefer that students use a certain structure, so make sure to check with the instructor if you are not sure what is expected of you. What is a three-part essay structure? The three-part essay structure is a basic structure that consists of introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction and the conclusion should be shorter than the body of the text. For shorter essays, 1 or 2 paragraphs for each of these sections can be appropriate. For longer texts or theses, they may be several pages long. So, the IMRAD structure, the sections of this structure are introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So, introduction. See the description of the introduction. What is introduction? Introduction in the above section about three-part essay structure, we have talked about it. What is method? In this section, you describe how you have conducted your study. This is where you present your material and your research, as well as any previous research and background material. You describe what method or methods you have used and how you have come up with the results. You may also explain why you have chosen a particular method. The method section describes actions taken to investigate a research problem and the rationale for the application of specific procedures or techniques used to identify, select, process, and analyze information applied to understanding the problem, thereby allowing the reader to critically evaluate a study's overall validity and reliability. The methodology section of a research paper answers 2 main questions. How was the data collected or generated? And how was it analyzed? The writing should be direct and precise and always written in the past tense. However, you should be aware that there can be differences between disciplines in the contents and structure of this section. Results section. In this section, you report the results and findings of your research. Usually, the results are not discussed or analyzed in this section, but you may have to explain some of your findings to avoid misunderstandings. Next section is discussion. The discussion is the section where you, as a writer, are the most active, and it should be the most substantial section of the entire paper. You should interpret, analyze, and discuss your results, as well as compare and contrast them to previous research. Sometimes, papers that use in the IMRAD structure will have a separate conclusion, and sometimes the conclusion will be merged with the discussion.